And welcome to the show. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a wonderful evening. I am, so far. So, Bill Clinton went in front of Congress and basically said he knows nothing, just like Hillary Clinton basically said they know nothing. Yet, Maxine, Maxine Maxwell was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding and they went to the ranch, they flew on the plane, went to the White House, and yet he knows nothing, and nothing. It's just exhausting. Where you have all these European leaders being stepped down and forced to resign. Companies are firing CEOs. World Economic Forum actual head chief just stepped down, and in the U.S. side, we got nothing. We just have a bunch of people who basically do what they want and get what they want and then go in front of Congress and lie when they want. And it is disgusting. And I don't know how we move forward as a country when we have an ex-president basically that was seen with him, did a bunch of stuff with him, flew on the plane, did all this fun stuff. Basically, Clinton goes back to Air America, Arkansas, and he basically got the golden handshake because he covered for the Contras and all that fun stuff to become president. I actually really liked Bill Clinton when he was president. I was really young, so I didn't really understand the implications of of Waco and Ruby Ridge and all that fun stuff. But yeah, he's talking about democracy and about not knowing what was going on. Let's go over it.
I just finished testifying in front of the House Oversight Committee. I did it for two reasons. First,
Because you're guilty as hell and you are all over the files, and that blue dress looks pretty hot on you, huh?
I love my country.
But you helped sell nuclear weapon secrets. Cool story. And you flooded the streets with drugs and set up narco terrorism for the next 20 years. Cool story.
Including our Constitution. And America was built on the idea
Except for people that want to have the right to bear arms.
that no person is above the law, even
Except for me.
presidents, especially presidents, and that we should all live under the same set of rules. This kind of democracy requires every person.
We're a republic. I hate it when politicians say democracy, democracy. Yes, that's basically the democracy is basically when you have mob rule. A constitutional republic is when you have democracy mixed in, and that's why we have the electoral college. One of the reasons.
Person to play their part. And I hope that by being there today, we can bring ourselves just a little further away from the brink and back to being a country where we can disagree civilly and we can search for truth and justice and that it out.
How are we to do that when you go in front of Congress and straight up lie about your ties, and you basically cover up all the just us? Allegedly. Everything's allegedly. Everything's hearsay, and that's how they get away with it, because everything's hearsay. It's like supposedly even the victims, supposed victims, were a part of basically the entire honeypot situation. They would be like, all right, get in the car. It's like, oh, you want a candy, little girl? Come on in. You want to be rich? Come on in.
Weighs the partisan urge to score points and create spectacle. The second reason I was there is that the girls and women whose lives Jeffrey Epstein destroyed deserve not just justice, but healing. They've been waiting too long for both.
Yeah, because they've been sitting on this information for 20 plus years. They've been literally sitting on this information all this time, and everybody's been called a conspiracy theorist. Everybody's been shadow banned. Everybody's been just ran over the coals because of people like this hiding the truth, basically calling everybody a conspiracy theorist. And as we know, the body count is through the roof.
Though my brief acquaintance with Epstein ended years before his crimes came to light, and though I never witnessed during our limited interactions any indication with what was truly going on, I offered the little I do know in the hopes that it would help prevent anything like this from ever happening again.
This this sort of thing is going on all over the country, all over the world at any given time, and there's probably thousands of Jeffreys out there because blackmail is the oldest playbook. You know, it's been going back since the Egyptians. It's it's you have dirt, you have leverage. It's not going to go away. And one of the fixers was exposed, and Epstein was a finance fixer, honeypot, and supposedly he's all wrapped up in it. But you know,
I also have to say something personal. Republicans made Hillary testify yesterday, and she had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein.
so exhausting.
Nothing. She has no memory of ever even meeting him. She neither traveled with him nor visited any of his properties. So
Went to Zorro Ranch, pictures, went to their kid's wedding. It's just the Maxwells are all wrapped up in it, and it's just
whether 10 people or 10,000 people were subpoenaed, including her, was simply not right. So here's what I told the committee. First, I had no idea of the crimes Epstein was committing. No matter how many photos they show of me, I have two things that at the end of the day matter far more than any interpretation of 20-year-old photos. I know what I saw, and more importantly, what I didn't see. And I know what I did, and more importantly, what I didn't do. I saw nothing and I did nothing wrong. As someone who grew up in a home with domestic violence,
he's the victim now. He's yeah. I love how they turn this. As a person who grew up, and unfortunately, most people who grow up in houses of domestic violence tend to become the perpetrator of domestic violence and sexual assault, unfortunately.
not only would I not have flown on his plane if I had any inkling of what he was doing, I would have turned him in myself and led the call for justice for his crimes. Not
The only one that really turned him in was Donald Trump. Love him or hate him, whatever, doesn't matter. Blue, red, whatever. It's the point is nobody's getting perp walked, and they ate people. They ate children. Not saying he did, but the people in the files. And if he really gave a crap, if he really cared, he would turn on his friends, but he's not going to.
the sweetheart deal we got. But even with 2020 hindsight, I saw nothing that ever gave me real pause. We're only here today because Epstein hid it from everyone so well for so long. And by the time it came to light with his 2008 guilty plea, I had long stopped associating with it. When the video of my testimony today is released, I hope it will motivate everyone to go in front of Congress to say what they know. I hope it will motivate the Justice Department to finally release all the files and to ensure that this never happens again.
It's happening all over the world at any given time, all the time. And I don't know, it's, as I said, it's really hard to move forward with from this to actually uh, it's rough because they want to bomb Iran now. And let's look up the comments. I don't want to show anything. Bill Clinton. Let's see what the comments are on this video. Let's see. At least new video of Epstein deposition. Bill Clinton tells Epstein committee depends on what definition of child trafficking is. So it goes deep, man. And he's like, oh, the picture's from 20 years ago. Yeah. People who think, yeah, I agree. Want to repeat history. All we need is Hillary Clinton behind the scenes blaming, smearing, destroying lives of actual victims. It just goes on, and that's why this is so hard to move on from, because anything and everything moving forward with Trump's friends and the reality of the situation and what they're going to push, yeah, it's difficult because like Trump can do the greatest things ever, but the bottom line is if there aren't perp walks, it just muddies the water every single day. Yes, it's really hard to yeah, it just goes on, people. It just goes on and on and on. And that's it. I don't know what else to say. But I'm going to cut this video short and hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Okay, bye.